Hello everyone, welcome to Leadership 101. I do hope you're having a good day. I'm going to be providing you with training today, and the topic we're dealing with today is leading in trying times. One thing is definite, during the course of your leadership, you are bound to experience challenging times, and so it's important that you have the information and the tools that you require to lead effectively in trying times, because it is all about personal effectiveness, and that effectiveness must be attested to, or you must have witnesses in the mouths of your constituents. You should be so effective as a leader that those you lead can testify and say, yes, she's a great leader, he's a great leader, in spite of the fact that we are going through a difficult time in our organization. So just bear that in mind. It's not effectiveness by your definition, but effectiveness as defined by those that you lead. So I've broken down some examples. I've broken it down into two sections of examples where you could experience trying times as a leader. So number one is external factors. By the way, if you see me looking down, I'm making reference to my notes. So number one is the external factors. External factors could be anything and everything that is outside of your control as a leader, such as the pandemic and the fact that as a result of the pandemic, everything or most things needed to be shut down. And so external factors will vary depending on industries and different sectors. The hospitality sector really experienced a hit during the pandemic. Leisure and travel. So each sector will have its own experiences as to what was challenging for them. So these are external factors, things that you cannot control. And then there are internal factors. So these are things that are closer to home. A lot of people, or in the corporate sector, it is often assumed that there should be a delineation, a separation between the personal and the corporate. But the reality is, your personal life as a leader has every bit of power to influence the way that you lead and your effectiveness as a leader. Other internal factors could be low employee morale, scarce resources, so you're having to tighten your budget as a result of the pandemic, and so you're expected to produce results with less resources. These are some examples of trying times that you will experience as a leader. You may have more personal examples. So if you're having issues with your spouse or with your children, all of these are internal factors and things that are within your influence of control. So how can you lead effectively in trying times? Number one, it's important that you actually acknowledge that you are going through difficult times, you're going through unprecedented times. Some leaders sort of try and go through those situations in denial in order to cope. Perhaps you just keep going and keep doing things as you used to do before, not really taking the time to acknowledge that you are facing a different set of circumstances. So it's important that you take the time to acknowledge the situation, acknowledge the difficulty that you're facing, and once you've acknowledged it, then you can go on to the next step, which is to accept. You must accept the uniqueness of your difficulties. That acceptance will open up opportunities for you to come up with creative ideas, to come up with creative solutions to the problems that you are facing. But if you're stuck in denial, then you're going to keep operating as though everything is exactly the same, when the reality is things have changed. And when things change, you also have to change your mode of operation. So for instance, when restaurants were closed down during the pandemic, some restaurants were able to flex and create online options. They were able to create maybe smaller menus so that people could then order takeaway from their restaurants, and that way they were able to stay afloat. Those restaurants that could not come up with a different way of doing business, a lot of them closed down during the pandemic. So when you accept this uniqueness of your circumstances, then it places you in a better position. The third step is to adjust. During trying times, more than likely you may be asking your constituents to do things that they were never used to doing before. Because you're operating on limited resources, you may ask them to do more time at the same rate of pay. And so this is an adjustment that you're requesting of them. And in order to keep things balanced and to continue to create goodwill with your constituents, as you ask them to adjust, it's important that you as a leader also look at ways that you can adjust your mode of operation. Perhaps you could offer flexible hours or job shares, or provide the opportunity for your constituents to work from home. When you are able to do things like that, even things as small as ordering food for members of staff whilst they're at work, things like that help to create goodwill. It shows that yes, you're asking them to do more with less resources, but you're also willing to acknowledge their adjustments and to show your gratitude. So you could order some snacks into the office and give a small speech just to express your gratitude for the hard work. Making steps like that helps to create goodwill, like I said, in the hearts of your constituents, and it will help you to lead more effectively in trying times. These are my tips that I have for you today. Please feel free to share this video with whoever you think needs to hear it. Until next time, from my heart to yours, do take it easy. Bye.